Good morning. It is Monday. This is morning conversation. I don't know if I have a whole lot to talk to myself about, but I will record whatever it is that I have to talk about. This is Aurora. Got the flirt pole this morning. Out. Whoa, fast. And I only have one good arm right now. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Yes. So one thing I talk about is that I see, so a lot of people are afraid to let their dog do this. There's a myth about tug of war not being good for a dog, makes them aggressive and all this stuff. And when the dog starts growling, people stop playing. Or when the dog's doing this, they stop playing. Don't do that. It's a myth. It doesn't make your dog more aggressive. It actually satisfies a lot of their drive and gets their frustrations and their natural instincts out in a very constructive way. Doesn't make it, playing tug of war does not make your dog more aggressive. Not even a little bit. It does not. Not at all. Quite the opposite. Actually helps you bond. It can be a great motivator for training. It can be a great exercise. And it's most definitely an outlet for the dog. Most definitely an outlet. Out. Hard to film and do flirt pole. But yeah. So play with your dog. It's a message all the time. Find what your dog likes to do. Aurora loves tug of war. She is she's pretty good at fetch. She likes bringing it back for the most part. And she loves tug of war. So play with your dog. You don't need a big backyard to do it. I am in a relatively small space. I'm in a park, but you don't need a big backyard to have a wonderful, balanced dog. Out. Out. It's all tangled up on her. Huh. Yes. She's gonna wait by me. Lots of fulfilling things you can do with your dog inside. Lots of fulfilling things you can do with your dog if you live in an apartment. Lots of species specific, fun, fulfilling things you can do with your dog if you have a big backyard or a small backyard. You're only limited because you think the only thing that helps your dog is taking them on walks, and you need help walking them. Now you need help connecting with your dog. Think about that. Oh, that's a good one. You don't need help walking your dog. You don't need help teaching your dog how to walk. Quite frankly, that knowledge is there. It's simple. There's probably 100,000 videos on how to teach your dog to walk on a leash. Pick one and just do it consistently. So you don't need help walking your dog. You need help connecting with your dog. And in order to connect with your dog, you need to understand your dog. And you need to accept that they are a dog, not a child, not a baby. And they have different needs than you and I, and your babies, and your children. Out. Girl. Rest. Rest. Good girl. Good girl. Get it. Rest. All the way. Good girl. Good girl. Rest. All the way. Good girl. So now orbit with this thing dragging. So yeah, we can fulfill our dogs in many, many different ways, and it's not about walking them. Yeah, I think people should enjoy walking their dog, for sure. Are walks important? Yes. But you don't need help learning how to walk your dog. That's a symptom. Rest. The problem you're having walking your dog is a symptom of you not understanding your dog, not accepting your dog, and not being able to connect with your dog as a consequence of those two things. That's why you can't walk your dog. It has very, very, very little to do with techniques and tools and distractions and whatever else other excuses are out there. Those are all surface level stuff. Now I'll go back to her and release her to get. Okay, get it. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'll give her that for a moment. Just drag around. Good girl. Yeah. Good job, Mama. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I don't have a whole lot to talk about this morning. Walking your dog is not the be-all, end-all solution to your hyperactive or high-energy pit bull. It's just not. But yeah, don't take my word for it, I guess. Or do. Just give it a try. You got nothing to lose. But yeah, there's nothing to do with, well, I shouldn't say nothing. Very, very, very little to do with tips, tricks, and techniques. Those are out there. They can be had for free. You can search YouTube and probably find 100,000 different videos on how to do it. What you're missing, and the reason why you're not going to be successful with any of those 100,000 tips, tricks, techniques, and videos on how to walk your dog is because you don't know how to connect with your dog. You don't know how to create harmony with them and harmony within them. You see, that's a dog that has harmony within herself and me. So, sure, not a lot of people really understand what that means, but that's all right. I'm not going to explain it if you don't understand what it means. I got nothing for you anyways, so read a book, read a dictionary. But yeah, you're not connecting with your dogs. When you connect with your dog, you create flow, you create harmony, and anything you're doing from that point forward, including your walk, they're going to do it with you. Why? Because you help them feel complete. You help them feel good. I bet you right now on your walks, you don't feel good on your walks, which means they don't feel good. Even though they're just wagging their tail and they're so excited because you're asking them if they're ready to go walk. Like, God dang, people. Stop asking your dog if they're ready to go for a walk. Realize why you're doing that for what it is. You're doing that because it makes you feel good. It speaks to your ego and probably your inner child. That's why. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Because that dog is just wound up, and then you want to go for a walk and have them be calm and polite when you just got them all jacked up, asking if they're ready to go for a walk as if they're going to actually answer you. You're having a whole conversation in a baby voice excitedly before you leave the house, as if they're actually going to have a conversation back with you. Come on. It's a dog. God dang. Idiots. Good girl. Good girl. What are you doing? Yeah. This is a fulfilling morning. Later. We played a little bit. The car is right over beyond that hill. 50 yards away maybe. That's all we've walked. We got here, we played. This camera's been going for 10 minutes. I think we played a couple minutes right before that, so call it 13 minutes that we've been at the park, and we're just hanging out. We got some lady walking her greyhound up there very nicely. We got a guy playing ball with his dog over there. We got sprinklers going. No big deal. Yeah, that's a good girl. Come here. Come on. Yes. That's a good girl. Come here. Yes. Aurora, up. Come here. Hey. Up. Come here. Aurora. Come on. So I'm trying to teach her up to give me hugs, to put paws up on me. Aurora. Come on. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. That's perfect. So I'm actually trying to teach her to jump up on me when I invite her. Again, you guys, you teach your dog to jump up. Jumping up is bad. According to who? According to who? Why is jumping up bad? Ask yourself that. Why is jumping up bad? Now, jumping up on certain people might not be good. Could be bad. But why is it bad? Why is it bad if I invite a dog to jump up on me? That act in and of itself, me inviting her, teaching her to jump up on me when I ask her to, is not bad. Okay? Just isolated as it is. You think it's bad because you're jumping ahead and thinking, well, if she knows that she can jump up on you, then she's going to jump up on other people. Wrong. Let's go. Roy. Let's go. Wrong. Go get it. Get this. No, get the ball. Yes. And again, that's a problem with your connection, your understanding of a dog, and your ability to stay present. You just think like, well, if she jumps up on me, she's gonna feel like she can jump up on everybody. No, she's not. Golly. Do you interact with every single person that you know the same way? No. Do you hug every single person that you know? No. You don't. Okay? So let's grant the dog a little bit of that as well, where they're not going to generalize jumping to every person that they see. Just because they jump up and greet you when they're excited and you invite that, doesn't mean they're going to do that to everybody. Good. Out. Good girl. Now we'll do a little fetch. Come on, mama. Good girl. That's a good girl. Yes. Good job. Good girl. And I may sound like a dick. I may sound like an asshole. You may not agree with what I have to say. At the end of the day, I just want you and your dog to enjoy life. That's it. Now, in order to do that, if your dog was watching this, your dog would be nodding their head. Yeah, I get it. If they could understand. Oh, and they'd take it to you. Hey, you should watch this. Maybe we should play more often. You know, our walks are not very fun. They're frustrating. I feel like you're in conflict with me and you're opposing what I want to do. Maybe you should watch this, mom and dad. Your dog can't do that. I just want you and your dog to have a more enjoyable life. I want you to have this kind of joy. Out in your life. Because it's possible. You're only limited because you don't think it's possible. You're only limited because you are still sleeping right now at 5:30 Arizona time in the morning in the summer. It's only not possible because you're not putting in the work, because you haven't cultivated the discipline. I want you and your dog to have a fun, enjoyable life together. And all I'm saying is that when we talk about walks, if your walk is not enjoyable, let's stop doing it. How about do something different, such as play? Good girl. That's a good girl. Look at that happy dog. Good boy. Good girl. Why did I call her a boy? Dumbass. So, yeah, you can think that you don't like how I talk. It triggers you and blah, blah, blah. God, just don't get me started on the whole trigger. Nowadays, if someone says they're triggered, it's like, I'm triggered. You have to stop. It's like a free pass to just fucking, it's like a force field to put up like, oh, you can't say anything more. I'm triggered. Jesus. Grow some thick skin. Grow some thicker skin. I'm triggered. Okay, so deal with your trigger. Fucking child. Oh, I'm triggered. You have to stop. Don't say anymore. God, deal with your trigger. You're asking, hey, here, how about this? You're asking your dog to deal with their triggers. You're searching the internet, seeking help from professionals all over the world to help your dog with their triggers. Ooh, but you're not willing to work through when you're triggered. Goes back to connecting with your dog. How about that? Out. Goes back to connecting with your dog. You want them to be a certain way, but you aren't willing to do it. That's not what a leader does. A leader leads. A leader leads by example. A leader does the things they're asking and knows how to do the things they're asking their followers to do. You're asking your dog to deal with triggers most of the time, but actually, in truth, a lot of people, when their dog's triggered, they just avoid it. They coddle the dog, they bring them away from it, and they don't actually help them through it or lean into it. They avoid, just like you do with yourself. I'm gonna avoid it. I'm gonna coddle. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna eat so I feel better, instead of actually dealing with the root issue that's tied to that trigger. That's what you do. And so we tend to do the same things for our dog. Help them avoid it. Keep them fragile so that they're always going to be triggered. But then we get frustrated when they're triggered. But we ain't doing anything to actually help them become more resilient and become more confident. Right, Raris? Go get it. Good girl. That's a good girl. Come on, mama. Let's go. Get it. Get it. Good girl. Good girl. So, there you go. That's my morning conversation. I'm going to try to keep these to 20 minutes or less. We got about another 5 minutes here at the park, maybe. So, anyways, whatever struggle you're having with your dog, it's not about techniques and methods and tools of training. It is about connection. And in order to have a connection with another living animal, human or dog, you must seek to understand that other individual. You cannot have a deep connection with a human being unless you try to understand their perspective, try to understand their position, try to understand who they are. You don't connect with another human being by projecting yourself onto them and looking for all the things that are like you, and then only seeing those things. That's and only doing what maybe makes you feel good. You connect with another human being by understanding what makes them tick, what makes them feel good. Same thing with your dog. If you're having struggles with your dog, training or otherwise, walks, training, they don't listen, it's a connection issue. And if you want help, I can help you. If you want, rest. If you want help, I can help you. So she sees that dog way off in the distance playing fetch. If you want help learning and understanding your dog so that you can connect with them, let me know. I can help you. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, day, whatever time it is where you are when you watch this. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.